Good morning, everyone. Very not so stupid o'clock. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I am your host, Tiffany Daniels, and we're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC to go over an ongoing investigation by the DPPC. I do want to give a trigger warning. What we are going to be reading through with this report does contain it's a report in regards to sexual exploitation of this one of the students that go to this school. So I just wanted to warn you ahead of time. Now, folks, we're also going to go over the usual disclaimers. But before we do, just know this is going to be a heavy vid day for me. There is a lot of stuff going on a lot of different fronts. But just kind of bear with me because I've got quite a few chores I need to do around the apartment today, and I got a grocery shop as well, all right? Okay, so first off, you are going to find the link to this report right there in the description box, alongside the other pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Autistic Hoya's massive compilation archive on the subject, where we get the bulk of the material in regards to the JRC for this channel. We also have the ever-present change.org. We have the templates, folks. Sign your name, click on your senator. We are trying to end adversive punishments, improper restraints, and seclusion in public schools. And folks, we also have the ever-present and self-explanatory change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. Now, other trigger warning. When we are speaking about the JRC, folks, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of peoples with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you have young children present, please use your headphones, all right? Now, folks, this one, to go through it, it's going to be triggering for me, and I'm sure for a lot of you. And it's also barely morning, and there has been no second dose of coffee yet. So if I stumble over my words, stare off into space, or curse in a manner that would make a truck driver proud, my apologies in advance, alright? Ow! See what I mean? Okay. Burning my freaking self, putting your hand in your coffee cup. Alright, so this is an incident I believe that actually took place April the 12th. And I believe it was of 2011, because it keeps saying revised 2011 at the bottom of the page, but I'm not sure. They're not giving an explicit date. Hopefully, we'll see what's going on with that. So, date of incident, ongoing. Allegation, investigated. ALAB had been seeking out the ALV and showing up when he played soccer. The ALV began asking for the ALAB to be his clinician and advocate. On Tuesday, April the 12th, the ALV and ALAB were seen together talking on a bench. Blank had the ALAB's cell phone and saw numerous long calls to the ALV's cell phone at various hours of the night and morning. The ALV's cell phone was looked at. The text messages were found. Messages were sexually explicit and included talking about having sexual contact. It is unknown at the time if anything physical has happened. The ALAB did not deny it when confronted. The ALAB was terminated immediately yesterday, April the 13th, after it was discovered. Oh, God. The alleged abuser does meet the definition of caretaker as defined by MGI Chapter 19C and 118 CMR. Okay. ALAB was employed at ALV's residential program. She had met with him periodically on campus, attended off-site soccer as one of the staff participants, and could have been called upon in her staff role to assist any client participant at any time. Category of abuse committed by alleged abuser: act. Physical injuries, none. Second injuries, none. Emotional injuries, other. Second, none. Abuse per se, sexual exploitation. Other, stopped eating for a day, which ALV is known to do when stressed. Oh, for fuck's sake. So you're going to sit there and even minimize? By God, they're minimizing sexual exploitation, folks. What the fuck can I say here? ALAB engaged in a texting relationship with ALV that included sexual language and made reference to sharing of related photos and or videos. The texts were found on ALV's phone after suspicions of inappropriate relationship between the two were made known. Subsequent to this, phone calls from ALV's phone to the number for which the sexual texts were made was answered by ALAB. Although the texting was clear, no reference photos or videos were found on ALV's phone. Although neither ALV nor ALAB specifically confirmed their relationship, neither completely denied participating in the explicit texting about which they were confronted. ALAB's position in the program, in which ALV was a client, and the explicit policies of the agency against sexual interaction between staff and students as employee policy clearly delineate an inequality of position and power in this relationship. ALAB was aware of the agency policy and aware that ALV was a client of the intensive behavioral program for which she works. Thus, ALAB's act of engaging in this relationship with ALV is sexual exploitation, regardless of ALV's seemingly voluntary participation. When you are someone with the power to torture the damn student, and then you start carrying out with this type of behavior, my question is, as the person that is being exploited there, do you go along with it so that you don't end up getting shocked or the person, once rejected, begins retaliating against you? Think on that for a moment. In addition, and by the way, all you fucking idiot girls who want to sit there and tell me a fucking male can't be sexually exploited, fuck you, read this. Read this. You want to sit there and tell me that only women can be victims? This entire fucked up school and case after case is my exhibit goddamn A. Bullshit. In addition, ALV suffered a day of not eating after he was questioned about the texting. This is a known reaction he has to stress and occurred right after the texts were revealed to others. The additional emotional injury is also a likely consequence of ALAB's actions. Okay. So, we're going to go ahead and stop there this morning. We're going to talk about this. Let's think about it, okay? We have someone who is ultimately in the power of authority. And I do mean complete authority over these students. We're talking student has no privacy, no autonomy, no say in regards to the staff or even them being in that school or in that residence. Okay? And then you have this staff member with the power to literally use a shock device on that student that is just below the lethal limit. Let's think about this for a moment. Think about what could have happened to him if he had said no. How does the JRC staff tend to retaliate whenever a student says no? My God, read the behavioral programs. They are literally programmed to never say no to staff. Literally have it drilled into them from day one. Because if they say no, what happens? If they do anything other than what the staff member tells them to do, what happens? Now, you have a female staff member who has that kind of authority and power over this student. And she starts doing this and sending text messages. What do you think would have happened if he had said no? Also, we know, biologically, men are visually stimulated. So you have this woman with that kind of authority to punish him if he says no, and then you have her sending him sexually explicit content. With an individual who has no authority or autonomy to be able to consent or not consent. It's horrific, folks. It is absolutely horrific. And the JRC can sit there and tell us that, well, we got involved and fire them immediately, and that's not what they do here. All the fuck they want, but it is their fucking programs, their messed up, psychopathic, psychotic behavior towards these students that makes it fertile ground for predators. Period. It is their type of behavioral programs where a student is not allowed to tell a staff member no. They're not allowed to protest. They're not allowed to stop work. They're not allowed to talk out. They create a system that attracts predators. And they abuse and torture these kids. How in the name of God are they surprised when something like this happens? And on that dark note, folks, I'm going to go ahead and close out for this morning. We don't get very many views on this channel, especially on this subject. The few that we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this morning. And as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.